Chinatown. Welcome back to Bard Around Town, season finale. Now this is a two-parter, and we're in part 2. So if you haven't watched the first part, stop what you're doing and go watch it. Get yourself caught up. Now where were we? Oh yes, we were exploring theater communities of Vancouver, as well as the evolution of Shakespeare. Now in 1918, the Spanish flu hit town, and it shut all the theaters down for at least 2 years. Now, Vancouver went through a bit of a phase during the night. Oh, sorry, just a second. Hello? Yes. Hello, Ava Forsyth. Yes, I'm in the office. We're filming. Yes, right away. Vacuum? Okay. Sanitize everything? Yeah. Am I wearing my mask? Yes. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, bye. Duty calls. Let's get back to Shakespeare. Throughout the 20th century, the Bard had many ups and downs. And after the Spanish influenza of 1918-1919, the Bard came roaring back in the roaring 20s. There were more Shakespeare productions than ever before. Ah, yes. After the 1920s, Shakespeare took a few hits. The Great Depression, World War II, and then finally, the nail in the coffin, the television. Why go see Shakespeare live on stage when you can watch him in the comfort of your own living room? But you can't keep the bar down forever. Throughout the 20th century in Vancouver, Shakespeare was still being performed by professional theater companies, amateur, and professional touring companies alike. And then, in the 1980s, a man not from around here came to Vancouver with an idea to transform Shakespeare. Who was that man? Let's go meet him. Okay, but before we meet this man, I have a few errands to run. We're gonna go to the Museum of Vancouver. And we're gonna need the big boy. Ha ha! Let's haul it. Catch you later. All right, here we are at the Museum of Vancouver. We're going to check out some interesting objects that relate to the part 1 of this two-parter. But before that, I got some costumes to deliver to Kristen, our marketing coordinator. Drat, it's closed. Well, I delivered the costumes, but I want to check out these objects. I know another way to get in, but I have to be sneaky. So I have snuck into the Museum of Vancouver, into a secret place that no one's allowed to be, except for me. And Fiona, of course. She's going to handle these amazing objects that relate to part 1, because I'm not allowed to touch them. Now, this instrument was used in the Cantonese and Chinese operas but they didn't actually play it. It was more of a prop. Over here, you'll see a program for the Imperial Opera House. Do you remember that one, where the Duncan building is? And this trophy was presented by the Shakespeare Society of Vancouver. And if you think back, they were the ones who wanted to bring Bard back to the basics. Now, what do we have here? Orpheum Circuit of Vaudeville Theaters. Artists, please read. Well, I guess I'm an artist, I'll read it. To the manager, there is a tendency on the part of certain artists to use in their acts suggestive and objectionable material. This must not be tolerated by managers. How the times have changed. Okay, over here we have a pamphlet for the Vancouver Opera House. Now that was the opera house that usurped the Imperial, also controlled by the CPR. Theater Under the Stars, or TUTS. Interesting fact, their first plays were Shakespeare. They did A Midsummer Night's Dream and As You Like It. And look at these amazing sequence costumes from the Chinese and Cantonese operas. Now these sequence costumes were made from celluloid nitrate, which they don't use anymore because, well, in no oxygen environment, they explode and melt in the rain. It's the same material that old film stock used to be made from. And over here, we've got the very first program from Bard on the Beach. Look at that. Museum of Vancouver. Well, I better put this back with the collection, because I'm not allowed to touch. That was cool. Now, let's go visit our friend. Oh, I know this place. Vanier Park. Normally this time of year, there'd be giant red and white tents and a big floorboard, box office, actors running around, and all of our wonderful patrons. I would be taking out the garbage or helping with ticket issues. Or you know what? I'd most likely be chumming it up with our amazing Bard volunteers. And we do have the best volunteers in the world. Right, Aiden?
That's right, Max.
Aiden, why are you here?
I live here, Max.
Okay. Now let's learn how Bard on the Beach got its start. Well, I finally made it. I'm with the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Gaze. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Maximus.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm tip-top. I'm fine.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, and I'm very happy to be drinking this Lone Tree cider. I like the apple ginger. Clickety-click.
So, Christopher, when you arrived to Vancouver, when was that, by the way?
1983, was spring.
And what was the Shakespeare scene? What was happening with the Bard?
There was a Shakespeare festival just beginning in the May, June of 83. I think they'd done the year before, but they really got established. They wanted to put up a tent in Vanier Park. And that's what they did. And they invited me to play Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream and Touchstone in As You Like It. And I was also, they also did Othello. They did 3 shows. And yeah, we just worked all summer.
So, Christopher, how do you think Shakespeare will continue to evolve into the future? What is your prophecy?
What does the future hold for Bard? I think when we're able to get going again, Max, the future for Bard is extraordinary. I think people will yearn to come back. The grieving, the sadness that when I meet people, and I meet a lot of people, we have a beautiful dog, Mason, that we walk all the time, and I run into people that look at me and say, I'm so sad that Bard isn't on this year. It was part of our summer. So I think that when we can play again, there will be, the audience will mass as they can, with whatever the circumstances are. They will come. The people will come. And we have so many wonderful people that want to put on productions. And of course, so many fantastic changes have happened in the world over the last few years, that you see all the shifts and the changes and the opportunities take place at Bard. And we want to, in everything we do, we want to lead the pack. We want to get there first, not last, in everything we do. Who is on the stage, who's putting the plays on, the way we do the production. And so we can hold, as it were, a mirror up to Vancouver and the world.
We always end the festival every year with that beautiful line from The Tempest,
Yeah.
Our revels have now ended.
Yeah, our revels now are ended.
Yeah, that's it.
These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
Christopher, thank you so much for inviting me to your home and for talking about Bard and the Beach. I really learned quite a bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Max. Well, there you have it. Theatre history.
Yeah, that's my line. Well, there you have it. Theatre history, Vancouver. And there you have it for season 1 of Bard Around Town. If you want to see season 2, well, please comment below and maybe we can make it happen. Because I had so much fun doing this series, looking for Shakespeare in Vancouver and discovering so much more, and I hope you had fun too, and learned a little bit as we went along. Please like and subscribe to see more content from Bard and the Beach. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, Lone Tree, for sponsoring this episode. And again, I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Have a great fall, and parting is such sweet sorrow. Good night.